Okay, I know you guys been waiting for me to do this drama, and Samantha is gonna do her best to try and even put in some details in this entire recap to make this recap fun and make more people want to actually enjoy my recaps. So, for those who don't know me, I'm Samantha the introvert. I do BL content, I do GL, but 90% of the time is BL. So today's drama that I'm going to try and recap is episode 1 of Goddess Bless You from Death. Okay, so the episode starts very strong because 25 years ago, 2 babies were born, and they're not like siblings, but like a different location. One babies was sent to some old woman to raise, but for some reason I'm not sure why those 2 babies are being separated from the parents. I'm assuming the parents are not alive at this moment, don't know why, but anyways, immediately I knew who those babies were when I saw the second child. Then the second baby was placed under the monk's care. When I saw that the baby was placed under the monk's care, I was like, okay, I know who this is. This is Pooh's character. The reason I say this is Pooh's character is because I remember very clearly in the trailer that Pooh's character introduced himself to Pavel's character, and immediately remember he said something about him being a temple kid. So yeah, this is Pooh's character as a baby. I know one thing, this monk is very wise, because immediately when he looked at that baby, he knew this child as something. Potential is not the word I'm looking for. It's a word, I wouldn't say it's a curse or a blessing. It's in between, because the monk looked at that baby and said, you are going to have an ability to see and speak to the unseen, which is the ghost. I don't know how he knew, but he knew from the sight of that baby. So 25 years later, we are here solving murders. Yes, murders. You're probably wondering, Samantha, what you mean, murders? What about the babies? See, 25 years later, bear with me, the kids are big. They're grown up. The first child that was left with the auntie, this is him. His name is Singha, if I remember, Singha, and he is a police officer. He was he transferred back to this section because he was somewhere else and they transferred him back here. Okay, I would be lying to you if I said I wasn't here for these 2, because let's be honest, I am here since the trailer, the pilot, everything. I'm here for this. Michael, love the hair color, suits you. Anyways, they didn't give what I was trying to get in Pit Babe, so I hope they gave something here. I hope they're the second couple, because we do need a second couple in every drama. So anyways, they're here at the crime scene. I think they work in the lab, and one of them name is Say and one of them is Divine. I don't remember. Give me a second, let me recap. Okay, I'm back, which is probably a second for you, but I looked it up. One is Say and one is Daddy. Anyways, Say is trying to keep Daddy in check, making sure his clothes looks good and all, and he's like, we're in public, please don't. And then Say just interrupt Daddy. I'm like, we're in public space. I know we're actually work person. I'm so helping you as a work person, not in a relationship person. And to be fair, I'm your boss, so you can't really say much. And I'm like, are they together or were they together? Because the pilot said they're ex. See, I don't care about the ex part. I'm caring about the loving part. So can we get to that part? I got 2 things to say. So what I'm watching is the uncut version. There is a cut version. It is on YouTube. For those who don't know, Change put it out on YouTube, but I'm pretty sure, like 100% sure, they're not going to put episode 2 on YouTube. But for the time being, the uncut version is on YouTube. How I know it's uncut, this little scene, the bodies were blurred. Anyways, second, the building. Why does this building remind me of that manga that I read or like a game that I played? Either way, it's giving a game room. Anywho, So Singha arrived at the crime scene and he's shocked to see 7 bodies hanging from a tree in an abandoned building. So the thing about this is, well, I'll get to that. Hold up. This whole scene shocks everyone because they've never seen anything like this. Hell, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. None of this has ever been done. Just go into a crime scene and you see 7 bodies hanging on a tree like Christmas decoration. The murderer is a psychopath. I don't think I've ever heard anyone do that. I mean, there could be people out there doing it, but it's not talked about. Because I'm trying to know, well, I'm not trying to know, I'm learning that everything you see on dramas or show is not just out of thin air. People don't just come up with it and like make believe. Some of it is actually based on real stuff that's not being said to the public. Okay, details time, as if Samantha wasn't giving details already. But anyways, I'm not a crime person and I'm not a police officer, but I do watch 1 or 2 dramas to gain details. But anyways, I do like how they put this whole thing seriously, like getting the mark, like the number, I don't know what they call that, but to the crime scene, and actually wearing stuff under their on their shoes so it doesn't get contaminated with the other crime scenes. So that's cool. Not cute, but cool. Okay, so what I noticed is only 3 people knows of Singer at this crime scene. It's Say, Darin, and Mek. Mek, you know Mek, the person that plays Dean. I believe it's Dean. I think it's Dean that plays in Pit Babe. Now, I have a question, and I'm not blind to see that Darin and Say has something going on between these two. Now, I have glasses, so that makes me a 4-eyed freak. Now, my question is, does Singha knows about their relationship? Okay, so let's come off the detailing for a bit and get into the real recap. So, Singha went to this guy. This man seemed to be the higher ups and pretty much the go-to man who is in charge of all the police officers, and he is the one that transferred Singha back to this team to solve this mystery. He's telling Singha to hurry up with solving it because if he solves it, then everything will be okay, when in reality he wants them to solve it so that he doesn't have any problems later, because they want to demolish this place and a person already bought the land and he doesn't want anything going against his entire business, if you get what I mean. Okay, so they got all 7 bodies down and lined them out, and Se and Darin is explaining to Singha that these bodies and their age and their gender, we all see that, but Se and Darin is saying that judging by the smell of the bodies, some have been dead for 2 days or more, and the others is more than that. So they're saying that they died way before 24 hours. But the thing is, they don't know why, and how they died is it's strange because they didn't struggle. That's what they're saying. The fact that they sewed their mouth shut and their eyes shut, it was not professionally done as well, but seeing how it shows unprofessionally and the people did not struggle caused a bit of a suspicion to them. Also, they analyzed the ropes. They analyzed how it was tied and how it left a bruise. The bruise didn't indicate that it didn't indicate of someone that would be hung by a tree, because the bruises was placed in a different way. The bruises was placed in a way that someone just dragged the body from some place to another place to make it here, and the bruises was upwards in a way that someone would drag the body. So, which means these body was recently put on the tree, which means they weren't at the tree. They were at somewhere else before they were placed to the tree. The question is why and what does all this symbolize? All I can tell you is everyone is very shocked at everything. At this point, they're wondering if it's even a human being that they're dealing with that caused all this. And no, you're not dealing with a human being. You're dealing with a psychopathic maniac who is also a murderer and doing all this for what? I don't know. It could be a ghost. We don't know. But still, all I'm saying is this is something that I would not see in my own country. Or maybe it is. Like I said, it's around. We just not seeing it in our 2 eyes or my 4 eyes yet. Anyways, while everyone is investigating on the lower part of the building where the crime scene is, Singha felt adventurous to go up to the top to at least analyze the entire place to see if he can find any more clue. I mean, as one law person would, they always feel adventurous. When he got up, Sigan saw someone acting very strange. He's not responding to any of Singa's command or orders, which is stay still, put your hands up, police orders. In fact, the guy was acting as if someone is trying to run him, like he was trying to something. I can't explain. I wouldn't say possess. I would say, like, where he fears someone and he's backing away from that person. Yeah, that's exactly what I would explain it. Okay, this is Taupe. Remember the second baby that has ability to hear and see unseen person? This is him. Narak. Anyways, Tob was this close to backing away. Hell, he would have been the eighth body at the crime scene, hadn't it? It would have been an eighth body if Singha didn't save him. Thank God. I think the Buddha actually made these two appear. They just don't know it yet. I'm talking about the show, not in reality. But if it is, reality too. Anyways, he's not acting weird anymore, and that's because, remember, Top can see and hear unseen things. And because Singha touched him, which we're going to get into details later on, Singha touched him, he can't see those unseen things anymore. But Top has a problem. He's the only person that's living that's on the crime scene, which makes him a suspect. Am I the only one that actually is amazed that Change actually got Pooh to wear a different color contact just to make this entire character amazing? In reality, there are people out there with it. It sometimes means that you were born a twin and the twin ended up making it you get some type of thing from that twin. But for Top, it means he can see unseen things. Anyway, so while Top is being arrested, Top is looking at Singha and telling Singha that he has nothing to do with any of this. He has nothing to do with the murders. He has nothing to do with 7 bodies hanging on a tree. And Singha looked at Top and was like, then if you didn't do it, who did? Then Top took a moment of silence and then said, the ghost. Singha said, well, he didn't really believe him, honestly. Can you imagine you going out in reality and telling people, oh, Ghost did all these things? Nobody's gonna believe you. So they reach out the police station and Singha put Tom in a holding area. Top says to Singha that he doesn't want to stay in this specific room. He will stay in the station only if he gets to a different room because this specific room is not very safe for him. And Top tried to tell him about the ghost and how he can see one right now and stuff like that, but Singha ain't gonna believe that. Singha just thinks that Top is trying to make excuses to escape from getting questions and actually getting to be labeled as the murderer, which he is not, and we'll find out that later. Anyways, Mek and Singha is walking and talking, and Mek even kind of believes Top with his ghost stories because looking at Top, he really genuinely looks scared, and Mek is trying to ask Singha if he can grant Top that request by giving him a different room. Singha still not buying it and saying that he's not going to do it, and we just want to hurry this up so we can go on our boat merry ways. Come on, look at this boy. He's genuinely scared. I am glad, though, that monk really taught him something. So he's chanting, and you'll think it's work because it's the first time for me that I see that chanting is not working. It's not working shit. Okay, the chanting didn't work, and because the chanting didn't work, Top turned around because the ghosts are always behind you. When he turned around, he saw a ghost that's hanging by the neck, completely dead, shocking Top. And then for some odd reason, it's like Thumb got chanted by it and started getting up, taking off his belt, and doing the exact pose and hanging. Well, this close to do this exact thing because he was this close to hang himself as well. But he got wise and snapped out of it and banging on the door for help. Just to give you an actual clip of what I'm talking about, but I'm gonna try to refrain from giving you too much details when it comes to showing the body's death or anything witchcrafty, just cause I don't want it to get, I don't want this whole thing to be too sensitive, but I'm just literally gonna tell you what to expect. For those who watch it, yeah, but for those who don't, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna give it to you too much. But yeah, this is exactly what I meant when he got hypnotized or trance before he snapped out of it. When Singer came in, Tub begs him to give him a different room. He even promised that he will not run away. He just needs a different room because this room has ghosts in it and he doesn't feel comfortable or safe to be in this room, which technically he really isn't safe to be in this room. So, with all the constant begging and yelling, Singer did give in and put him into his personal office. Okay, so before we went into Singer's office, Singer brought up his files, which is Top's file. Looked in his file, he sees his full name and he sees that he lives in Bangkok, but also he sees that he lives somewhere else before living in Bangkok. But it didn't say anything in the files. It's pretty much secret. So Top said that he lived with a monk before, but the monk is dead and he ended up going out on his own and live on his own. And then Singer said, what do you do for work to maintain whatever it is that you do and your job and your... Singer asks, how do you maintain rent, living? Top says that he does freelance work, odd jobs here and there just to make money. I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of like Pit Babe, because even in Pit Babe, Charlie supported himself too. It's not far from Pit Babe at all. Okay, down to the real question. Now, because Top keeps saying that he has nothing to do with the murders or the 7 bodies that was hanging on a tree, Singer then asks Top, why was he there? How did he get there? What was his intention of being in that location? Top said he wouldn't believe if he tells him, and Singer said, try me. So Top said that at night he had a weird dream. In the dream, there was a vengeful ghost or whatever, and that ghost brought him to that location at the night. When he got there, he was shocked when he saw the 7 bodies, but also when he was there, it wasn't the 7 bodies that was there, but also more spirits. Top says when he saw the spirits, he tried his best to get away from all of them. But at the time of his near-death situation and trying to get away from them, that is when Singer showed up. Top also said that he feels like Singer is like a repellent. Whenever he touches Singer, he noticed that these spirits are gone. Maybe it's like Buddha's helping him to be safe by actually having Singer with him. Singer sees that this whole situation and conversation is not going anywhere, so he told one of the police officers to send Top back into the room that he was in before. Top then says he begging him not to bring him back into that room because there is a ghost that hangs himself in there, and he feels like not just that ghost, he feels like whenever anyone else goes into that room, they will also hang themselves there too. The police officer beside Top says that that's exactly what happened. There is someone that hangs himself there, but also he feels like there is going to be someone hanging themselves after, because that's exactly what happened. Now, if you hear bikes in the background, I do apologize. I can't stop it. I really can't. I'm sorry. Like I said before, with the constant begging and yapping and asking to be somewhere else, Singer put Top into his personal office. As you can see, Special Investigation Unit Office, Police Captain Singer Watarak. I swear it's like watching Pit Babe 1 all over again in a different universe. Because why is Pooh's character in this one is just the same as Charlie? Innocent and cute, and Pavel gets the same arrogant, strict no nonsense type of person in this one. I'm telling you, they're the same. Okay, so Singha got called into the chief office, and the chief is telling Singha that he needs to wrap up this investigation real fast because, like I said before, the person that owns the land or actually bought the land is looking forward to actually get this whole murder case behind them so we can demolish the place and actually build whatever it is he's building in peace without further problems. And they can't do that if this whole thing is taking too long. Hear me out, and this is a crazy theory, but I feel like the person who did this crime knew about whoever bought the land and didn't want that person to have it, so instead they delayed the whole process and caused a whole crime scene, considering the person probably have a deadline. Okay, so they're going over the body because now, I forgot to mention, Singer got called in by Say and Darwin to investigate the bodies. So they're going over the bodies, and they have two bodies right now, a male and a female, but the female is actually transgender. So anyway, they're going around it, and they can't find like any struggle, no reason of why the people died. They just know these mysterious markings, and the sewing is way off, but for some reason still can't know what is the cause of death. Okay, after talking about the two bodies, they get to talk, well, Singer get to ask about Top. So I forgot to mention that when at the crime scene, when the Singers found Top, he told Say and Darwin to take Top's hoodie because there's blood on it, and Singha believes the blood belongs to the victims. Turns out it's none of the victim. The blood belongs to Top himself. So, knowing that Top is not the prime suspect, he's not anything because he has nothing to do with it, what do we do next? Okay, so we're back to the office and we see the sleeping Top. You can tell Top has not been sleeping for a long while. But when Singer tried to wake him up, he's taking a long time to wake up. But let's analyze here. He said, Top says that the only way he can calm down is when Singer touches him, right? Looking around right now, Singer wasn't with Top, but Top sleeps so quiet, which means one thing. Look at it. Look at his hand position. He's touching something that belongs to Singha. So I'm guessing that's why he's sleeping so soundly. That and there's no ghost there. Okay, now seeing that Top is not a murderer and he's an innocent person, Singha started acting a little bit nicer to Top, like trying to dress his wounds, asking his nickname, and then asking him about his life, and if he can see ghosts, why doesn't he have like a medal or medallion or something like that, just to ward off the ghosts. Shockingly, Top does, but the thing is, it doesn't work anymore because he said ever since that the monk died, nothing works. Not the medal, not the chanting, nothing works to get rid of the ghosts. But being around Singha does. Singer got curious of this whole ghost thing and started asking Top when he started seeing them. Top said he never saw them. He knew they were there since he was young, but he never saw them. It was when the monk died, that's when he fully started seeing them. Again, we left the poor little puppy in a room by himself, who clearly states that it's not safe to be by himself, but hey, Singer doesn't know that. He doesn't even trust the boy because we don't know him. Anyways, things started to go great until he got a phone call from one of his colleagues saying he needs to come check his office because the office is getting louder. Singha did not realize the craziness that is going on in his office. So the people I'm telling him, like, you need to come back to your office. Shit's going down in your office and the kid is going crazy. Let me tell you something. The makeup is makeuping for these ghost people. Watch at your own risk at night, people. Watch at your own risk at night. The fact that I'm doing this recap at night, I need to hurry it up. I had to rush to pass these ghost people because I ain't about to be living a uncomfortable night right now. I do love how they make Pavil riding a bike in the drama. The only thing I don't like is the helmet. I just thought it would be a lot more, cooler. But anyways, I'll probably get used to it by the end of or the following through the entire drama. By the way, this drama is 13 episodes, just like Pit Babe. Anyways, so Top manages to convince Singha to actually let him stay at his place because let's be real, we do not want this boy to get haunted by a ghost again. And just getting rid of them is a arm and a leg to do. Now, I was not expecting this house, but I don't know what I was expecting. I should have known that there are going to be a lot of drama houses out there. Expect to see a lot of famous drama houses for all the BL fan watchers. The only difference is it's at a different angle you never seen in other dramas. So they got to the house and immediately Singha start laying out some rules. Rule number 1, you sleep downstairs and I sleep upstairs because Singha said there's only one bedroom and it's mine. Secondly, don't touch nothing and there won't be any problems. Third, don't mess with the lights. The lights are flickering. That's how it is. Leave it alone. And the important thing is do not cause trouble. And do you think he actually take those rules to heart? He caused trouble immediately. I'll let you know where the trouble begins. Oh, also, because Top keeps calling Singha Salawat, which is Sir or Inspector, Singha said that Top doesn't have to call him Salawat, just call him by his real name, which is Singha, which caused Top by surprise, but he did call him. He called him P. Singha. P. Singha. And the trouble started. Damn, that was fast. He hadn't settled good in the house yet, and Top has already caused a problem. So Singha is washing his hair, and the light went out. Oh, you'd think it was a short circuit or something. Turns out Singha messed with it because he saw a fish tank, and he plugged in the light to give the fishes some whatever it is that he's giving, and accidentally short circuit the entire house and got the house in darkness. First of all, this scene kind of reminds me of that drama what's that drama? The one with Pond and Gun in it, where Gun plays Ozone. You know that scene where Ozone keep turning off the bathroom light and then Pond came out acting angry saying stop switching off the light? This is exactly what it kind of reminds me of. But anyways, Top says that he just wants to make himself useful instead of just sitting there and doing nothing. He wants to make it as like he's not a burden or anything like that. Singha said that that's the job of a wife. Are you my wife? And he's like, no. There is a part where just for a split second, because Top was like, dude, can we have a conversation when you have a clothes on? This is not the right moment. Singha for a split second flashed the boy. At this point, he's gonna remember that valingaling hanging for days. I'm telling you, the way Top sleeps, you have to check his pulse to see if he's actually alive. This man sleeps really too comfortable to the point that you have to wonder if he's okay. The amount of time that Singha had to wake this boy up, he's deep into sleep. So anyways, they got out of the house and went to Tub's place because Tub needs to collect some clothes to wear in Singha's house, because let's be honest, he can't be wearing Singha's house clothes the entire time he's staying. And yes, he is staying at Singha's place just until the whole crime whatever cools down, or at least something, because Tub convinces Singha to let him stay. At this point, he's probably gonna convince him to stay permanently. Okay, so while Tub is gathering his things, Singha decided to search a little and saw Tub's drawing book, and in it he saw a lot of things, including the tree and the bodies. I do wish that Tub had like timestamps on these things so he can actually know that this is beforehand, because looking at Singha's face, he feels like he's doubting the fact that he should let Tub stays at his place. But can we pause a little bit and focus on Top here? The boy is temporarily staying at Singha. Temporary. Why is he packing to live? Okay, so after collecting Tub's clothes at his place, they didn't immediately went to Singer's place. Singer brought Tub to the crime scene again, which is definitely a traumatic moment whenever he's there. But Singer wants Tub to explain to him what he told him in the investigation room. He wants to know where did he come into the building, how, what he saw, what exactly happened, those type of details. Meanwhile, Tub is literally traumatized here. But he asks Singer if he can touch Tub just in case anything goes wrong. Okay, so Top explaining everything and also said that he feels that with all the bodies that was on the tree, there were more vengeful spirits around the place. Then tells Singha that he feels like this area was once a cemetery, and to him it explains why all these spirits were there. But Singha thinks it's impossible because he feels like the building was there before that. So my question is, the only person who knows about it is the actual previous builder. Other from that, it doesn't matter if the owner who bought the land is gonna just demolish it. It's still gonna have these spirits. So I'm not really sure what gonna happen, if they're gonna do anything or something like that. Okay, while at the crime scene, Singer got a call from Mac saying that he needs to get to the station because there's something important that Singer needs to see. There was mosquitoes, sorry. But anyways, just need him to come here to see something because he needs to know that there's somebody coming into this station, and I think Singer knows who this person is. Anyways, this is King and he's not new to other people's faces. The chief he said that he transferred him here from where he previously was. I feel like the chief loves conflict because in the pilot and trailer, I believe King and Sing are ex-boyfriends. So unless the chief love a little bit of spicy conflict, why the hell would you do this, sir? And as you can see on Singer's face, he is not pleased. Top does not understand what the hell is happening. You just know there's tension. The reason King is here is because the chief wants to speed up this mystery investigation as fast as possible because remember the old situation why they need to do so. Wow, this episode is something else. I can't wait for episode 2. I just want to know, are they gonna give us like a flashback on why they broke up? And then the second thing or the third thing or whatever thing I'm at is, wow, I was not expecting them to put King in episode 1 so fast. I was thinking maybe it's further down the line. But change, I ain't gonna lie to you, I feel like they love a little bit of sassy, spicy conflict, stuff like that. Because in Pit Babe, there was Milky. Milky give off a lot of spicy, and then you have Nut, who plays Way. He got a lot of spiciness too, so I'm just saying, it's not really spicy, it's more like problems. We need problems all the time. Okay, so like I said, the episode is great. I also said do not watch this at night if you're not a fan of scary stuff or stuff like that. Yeah, don't watch it at night. I highly recommend you to watch it at the daytime or at least not alone, if you get what I mean. Although I'm alone watching this and I'm still scared as shit. But anyways, yeah, that is episode 1. That's pretty much that. Also, you can put in the comments if you reach this far in my recap. Thank you, but you can put in the comments of what your thoughts on this whole drama. It will be appreciated, so I should know that you're here with me as well, watching the drama in Halloween. Happy Halloween!